In a terrifying incident that has left the world on edge, a Russian drone has made direct contact with an advanced American F-35 fighter jet. What's even more alarming is that this collision occurred just over international waters off the coast of Alaska. This event has sent shockwaves across the globe, raising serious questions about the future of aerial warfare, air defense strategies, and the potential for escalation between nuclear-armed rivals. How did such a dangerous incident occur? And what does it reveal about the evolving dynamics of modern warfare? Join us as we delve into the details of this shocking incident and its far-reaching implications. A United States Navy F-35C fighter jet was conducting routine operations when all of a sudden a Russian drone slammed directly into it. It happened right away. All the evidence suggests that this was no accident. The fact that Russia would intentionally send a drone to collide with a U.S. warplane shows just how far their hostility has gone. It was a reckless move that could have easily been avoided if Russia had chosen to act responsibly. But they didn't. Instead, they initiated a direct assault against a NATO aircraft, risking a major international incident. What makes this event even more concerning is that it took place in international airspace over the Bering Sea, a region that has been increasingly contested by Russia in recent years. This blatant disregard for international law and norms of behavior by Russia has raised tensions in an already volatile region. Now the U.S. Navy has responded swiftly and decisively to this unprovoked attack. They immediately deployed the USS Howard destroyer to intercept the Russian drone. This quick reaction was crucial in preventing further escalation of the situation. The presence of the destroyer served as a clear message to Russia. Their reckless actions will not be tolerated, and the U.S. is prepared to defend its interests. Despite these urgent measures, the collision caused significant damage to the U.S. warplane. The F-35C suffered substantial damage, forcing it to make an emergency landing on the deck of the USS Nimitz aircraft carrier. Such a maneuver is inherently risky and requires a high degree of skill and precision by the pilot. Fortunately, in this instance, the pilot was able to safely eject before the collision. However, the fate of the drone operator remains uncertain. As the incident unfolded, the U.S. military took control of the situation, but there has been no word on the status or the whereabouts of the individual operating the drone. In response to this alarming development, the U.S. military has taken swift action. The USS Howard, equipped with advanced air defense capabilities, was dispatched to intercept the Russian drone. This incident has raised serious concerns about the vulnerability of air defenses against unmanned aerial threats. Despite being one of the most technologically advanced fighter jets in service, the F-35C found itself in a precarious situation when confronted by a relatively simple drone. This incident highlights the growing challenge posed by unmanned aerial systems and the need for effective counter-drone technologies. The collision between the Russian drone and the U.S. F-35C fighter jet has sparked widespread condemnation from world leaders and military analysts. Many are calling for a thorough investigation to determine the full extent of the damage and the underlying causes of the incident. The international community is closely monitoring the situation, as any miscalculation or escalation could have catastrophic consequences. As tensions rise, experts are emphasizing the need for restraint and diplomacy to prevent further hostilities. The incident has raised concerns about the potential for a wider confrontation between the two nuclear-armed nations. Analysts warn that such provocative actions could trigger a dangerous arms race, leading to increased military spending and a heightened risk of conflict. The fragile balance of power that has been maintained since the end of the Cold War could be tipped, potentially plunging the world into another era of geopolitical turmoil. Amidst the growing international condemnation, Russia has broken its silence on the incident, adding to the complexity of the situation. Their explanation raises more questions than answers, leaving the world grappling for clarity. Russia claims that their military conducted a planned and controlled flight over the Pacific Ocean. This statement alone does little to alleviate the concerns raised by the earlier collision. there is still a pressing need for transparency and accountability. Adding another layer of intrigue, Russia alleges that the U.S. aircraft deliberately provoked this incident. They assert that the American plane flew too close to the Russian aircraft, creating a hazardous situation that forced the Russian crew to take evasive action. This counter-accusation by Russia shifts the blame onto the U.S. military, raising doubts about the official narrative. Without concrete evidence, it's difficult to verify these claims, leaving the true sequence of events shrouded in mystery. This incident has sent shockwaves through the media landscape, with headlines around the world condemning Russia's actions. The use of strong and emotive language clearly conveys the gravity of the situation, as seen in the Daily Mail's article, World on Edge. This emphasizes the potential global ramifications of the incident, suggesting that it has the power to destabilize international relations. The Independent's coverage describes it as a near-miss incident, highlighting the proximity of a potential disaster. The article underscores the dangerous nature of Russia's actions and the potential consequences if the incident had escalated. Russia's state-owned news agency, RIA Novosti, offers a different perspective on the event. According to their report, the U.S. military provided no response to repeated radio requests from the Russian Su-27 fighter jet prior to the incident. This information adds to the complexity of the situation, suggesting a breakdown in communication between the two air forces. In response to this alarming development, the Pentagon has issued a statement expressing grave concern over the unsafe and unprofessional behavior of Russian forces. The statement categorically denies Russia's allegation that the U.S. aircraft provoked the incident. The Pentagon stands firmly behind its pilots, asserting that they acted in accordance with international standards and best practices. This public show of support aims to bolster confidence in the U.S. military's account of the incident, while also serving as a reminder to Russia to avoid such dangerous actions in the future. As the international community continues to reel from the implications of the Russian drone's collision with a U.S. F-35 fighter jet, many are questioning the true extent of the damage caused by this reckless act. While the U.S. military has confirmed that the pilot successfully ejected, details about the condition of the aircraft carrier and the F-35C remain scarce. This lack of transparency has fueled speculation and uncertainty regarding the severity of the damage sustained by both pieces of military equipment. In times of heightened geopolitical tensions, it's crucial for nations to exercise restraint and engage in diplomatic channels to resolve conflicts peacefully. The collision between the Russian drone and the U.S. F-35C serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of peace and the potential for miscalculations to have catastrophic consequences. It underscores the need for open communication and de-escalation tactics to prevent such incidents from spiraling into larger conflicts. As the world grapples with the implications of this dangerous incident, it's essential to remember the human element. The safety and well-being of the individuals involved must be of paramount importance. The successful ejection of the F-35C pilot is a testament to the training and preparedness of the U.S. military. However, the fate of the Russian drone operator remains uncertain, highlighting the need for accountability and protection of all parties involved in such sensitive operations. The collision between a Russian drone and a U.S. F-35C fighter jet over international waters off the coast of Alaska has sent shockwaves across the globe. The incident, which resulted in damage to the F-35C and raised questions about air defense vulnerabilities and the potential for escalation, has highlighted the complexities of modern warfare. As investigations continue and the international community calls for restraint, it serves as a reminder of the need for robust diplomatic channels and de-escalation efforts to prevent such incidents from occurring in the future. The world watches anxiously as the implications of this collision continue to unfold. However, despite the seriousness of the situation, some voices are beginning to question the official narratives presented by the U.S. and Russian authorities. Skeptics argue that each side may be selectively disclosing information that supports their respective positions while withholding crucial details that could shed light on the true nature of the incident. This raises concerns about the reliability of the information presented to the public and the potential for it to be influenced by political agendas. Furthermore, the lack of independent verification adds another layer of complexity to the situation. The absence of third-party confirmation of the events makes it challenging to ascertain the full truth, leaving room for speculation and mistrust to take hold. In such an environment, it becomes crucial for independent observers and journalists to dig deeper, seeking out additional sources and evidence to form a more comprehensive understanding of what transpired. By critically examining the information provided and exploring alternative perspectives, a more balanced and accurate account of the incident can be pieced together. It's essential to approach this situation with a critical and discerning mindset, recognizing the potential biases and information gaps that may arise during such sensitive international incidents. As the world grapples with this incident, it's imperative for nations to resist the urge to jump to conclusions or make hasty decisions based on incomplete information. Instead, they should work collectively to gather all available evidence, consult with international partners, and seek peaceful resolutions through diplomatic channels. Only through a concerted effort to understand the full context of this collision can the international community work towards preventing similar incidents in the future. That concludes our exploration of the collision between a Russian drone and a U.S. F-35 fighter jet. We've delved into the event's background, its implications, and the ongoing investigations. As we wrap up this discussion, we encourage you to stay informed by continuing to follow our updates on this and other global events. Your engagement and support allow us to keep you informed about the world's most critical issues. Thank you for joining us on this journey of discovery and insight.